Now, when I say misunderstood word, what I mean is misunderstood communication, or an experience that is not understood and is misinterpreted, or is giving an interpretation that does not work for the person who experienced it. Okay? Now, all of those are concepts of the misunderstood word. Now, this is what the misunderstood word does. It causes injury to the mind because the word don't show up like it's supposed to show up. You know, it's like if I tell you I'm going to show up, what you expect? Me to show up. If I don't show up and you were dependent on me showing up, what happens? I create injury. Right? I create injury. Now, you multiply that, we get a habit, we have a habit. And you know, and let me just say this. I work a lot with people of color. All right? And this is stuff that we don't like to talk about. But we got a word problem. We got a serious word problem. Serious integrity problem. We give our word, but we don't keep it. There is absolutely no way to transform the conditions in our community if our word is not reinstated. Right now, we don't even have a word with God because our integrity is out. So there's so much healing that needs to happen. What needs to heal is not our spirit. There ain't wrong with our spirit. We couldn't break that if we tried. Thank God. What needs to heal is our mind. Our mind has been attacked for years. We've been under a constant barrage of misunderstood words on purpose. So we've been confused about who we are. We've been confused about the direction that we're going. And so we need some healing, but the healing is mental. Now what I want to do is I'm going to strip myself. I'm going to share my life with you to begin to you to understand where the healing needs to take place. All right? Now, my grandmother used to tell me all the time, my great-grandmother, she'd say, look, grandson, don't let no one talk you out of your blessing. You ever heard that before? Now, I used to think she was talking about like events in my life, that, you know, things that would happen that was end up being a blessing. But what she was talking about was my whole life. Could you ask them to hold the talking down outside? Because they're talking on the phone. And they're supposed to be cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? They do it all the time. But anyway, I don't want to lose my train of thought. She was not just talking about an event or things that would just happen every now and then. She was talking about my entire life. Your entire life is supposed to be a blessing. Your entire life. We are supposed to be enjoying our entire life. Not just a piece of it. Not just an every now and then moment. But every waking moment of our life, we ought to be enjoying. There's only one reason why we haven't been enjoying it. We haven't given ourselves permission to. Think about that for a minute. We've given ourselves permission to suffer, but we haven't given ourselves permission to enjoy our life. If you just stop for a minute and listen to what you say every day, in your words, your conversations with people, you give permission to suffer. And based upon your communication and you giving permission to suffer, you suffer. But we don't have to. Never had to. That was a trick. That was a trick. But we're going to heal from that. So I want to share with you something that transpired, because there's a major thing that happens in this world to just about everybody. Almost no one escapes it because of how the world is constructed. The world we come in is constructed in such a way where there's so many misunderstood words. Soon you come in. That it don't take but about 4 to 5 years before we have lost our innocence. Because there's so many misunderstood words. There's so many people talking about stuff they don't know nothing about. But they act like they do. You know what I'm saying? You go places, everybody acting deep, everybody act like they know what they're talking about. They don't understand. It creates so many misunderstandings, so many broken words, and it keeps going on and on. And so by the time you reach 5 years old, you've lost your innocence. You learn how to lie. You learn how to create misunderstood words yourself. That's what a lie is, a misunderstood word. An intended misunderstood word. I'm going to give you a word that I intend to cause confusion. That causes you to split, causes you to go one way and the other. So, but what normally happens is that this There's something that occurs in each one of our lives that's different for each one of us, but it ends up being the same in terms of the result. And I'm going to share mine with you. I was 5 years old, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and let me back up. My mom and dad had divorced when I was 5. My dad was an alcoholic. He used to beat my mother when he would get drunk on a regular basis. So they finally got a divorce. And it was me, my 2 brothers, and my oldest sister. We lived in a 1-bedroom house in a little country town called Abbeville, Louisiana. Now, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw my mama having sex with another man. Devastating to me. All right? I had a 5-year-old understanding, and from a 5-year-old perspective, I created an interpretation of what I saw. Now, what I want to do is I want to clarify something for you, because I'm not judging my mother. 5 years old, my mother was divorced. She wanted to have sex with another man. She could. Wasn't nothing wrong with it. All right, I just want to make that clear, because I don't want it to be seen like, well, I'm judging my mother, but I'm telling